Well, hey folks, my name is Brad. If you happen to be new to my videos, typically I explore the mountains of Vermont searching for treasure with my metal detector, but today I was invited back to my friend Rebekah's property where a 1700s house sits and where we found the class ring. While we weren't able to actually find anything from the 1700s on that last trip, this class ring was really something special. Unfortunately, the stone was missing. Today, I actually brought a sifter screen to see if we could find that stone. Unfortunately, we were unable to. But since the last time I was here, so much new land has been brush hogged, including right in front of this beautiful old house where we're going to spend most of our time today, I think. Now, if this happens to be one of the first of my videos that you've seen, I publish one of these every single Friday. So if you like what you see here today, consider hitting that subscribe button or just come on back next week. We're gonna get these metal detectors turned on and see what we can find. 87 sounds pretty good. Sounds shallow. It is. It's an old coin. Oh, Rebekah, I think I got an old coin. Like a real old coin. Well, this being the second time I've been on this property, the first time we were just saying we didn't find any old coins. No big coppers like this. This being the first one, it's a great sign that we're in a new area and we find it almost right away. Hopefully there'll be more here. Let's take a look at it. So it is pretty caked up with mud. Honestly, can't see anything yet. Let's spray it off. I think it's a good one.
I couldn't tell by the look on your face if it was like, I can't find the head.
I see it says Quatra.
Okay.
Up in the top left, hopefully you can see that. I think it's a Vermont. You see the date, 1787.
You see that? Oh my God. Yes.
So I wasn't sure, I wasn't positive. I didn't want to get her too excited. 1787 down there at the bottom. Very, very difficult to see. There would be a starburst with an eye in the center. We'll throw a picture of it up on the screen of what they're supposed to look like. In any case, it's an amazing old copper coin and the first found on this property. We knew there was going to be 1700 stuff here, and what better evidence of that than something with a date that tells you.
I'm actually crying.
Come on!
Seriously.
I wish it was in slightly better condition, but we can see a lot of the text around the outside.
Oh, so exciting.
Awesome, let's see what else we can find. 78. There's some paper there. See it. What the world is that thing? Well, I found a thing here, and I have no idea what it is, but I have a few guesses, a few clues about what it could be. It does appear to be old. You can see we have some pretty line work here around the outside, both sides. Almost an elaborate spring mechanism attached to it. You can see it's affixed right here. And I do believe it's a clip of some kind. Open it up and this would clip down. On paper, on clothes, could it be a very, very early clothes hanger? Did they have those? I'm not sure. But if they did, maybe they would look like this. I assume it has to do with either of those two things, paper or clothes, though I think that a bit more research is going to be required to figure out exactly what it is. But it does seem as though it is, if not 1800s, very, very early 1900s.
The other side of this tree, I found this weird thing.
You found this too? Oh, that's part of a lamp.
Oh, is it?
Yep. You found that right here too, right?
Yeah, just behind her.
Could they be related? I don't think so. I don't think this went to a lamp, but similar time frame, I would guess. Pretty cool. See, maybe we'll find some more of it and it'll solve the mystery. All right, I've got a beautiful target right here. It's a 93. Very exciting. I'm gonna dig very slowly, considering where we are. It's very shallow. You did come through here with Would you say backhoe? Excavator. It's another just another coin. This one looks like it got hit.
Who knows?
Whoa!
What?
I've never found one of these ever. So it took us a little while of Googling to figure out exactly what this is. There is a date on here. Unfortunately, we have some damage to the coin and it's right through the date. But the date would have been 1837. And that year in particular, there were hundreds of tokens this size worth 1 cent produced all over the United States as well as Canada, which is where this particular token is from. General stores and private businesses produced tokens with political slogans, all kinds of messaging on them. This one happens to be from Canada. We can see on the back there is the big X. I have found the Bank of Upper Canada tokens that have the guy slaying a dragon, both the half penny and the full penny sizes. This one though, it seems like it was produced not by merchants or general stores, but by the Bank of Quebec to fill a need for the lack of copper currency in circulation at that time. Great find, something I've never found before.
120,000 half pennies made, 240,000 pennies made.
120,000 only.
Well, of the half penny, that would be a regular penny?
This is a half penny.
Oh, yeah, 120,000 only.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's
Rare
damaged.
too. There was even less once they dropped this one on the ground. That's okay, it's old damage, you can tell by the patina. I don't think
good.
this wasn't done by this season, no.
I didn't do that with any equipment.
Nope. Awesome, awesome find. And I learned something. That's what it's all about. $84? No way. No way. Well, on my first trip to this property several weeks ago, Rebekah found something which was the first time I'd ever seen something like this found with a metal detector, and it was the tailpiece to an old guitar. Unbelievable. As a guitar player, it was an amazing find. And we're back to the same property, but a new area, very clearly older part of the property, and I just found another guitar, but this one is made out of sterling silver, it seems. Look at the detail in this. It looks like it would have been a pin. This perhaps the catch. The neck was not attached, but I believe the headstock up here is where the pin would have been. Come down and attach down here, and it's very likely that part, the headstock with the pin, it remained on the shirt of the wearer. I will of course check the immediate area because this slope has had some work done to it. Material has been moved around, so we'll continue looking for that last piece of it. But man, an old stringed instrument piece of jewelry made out of silver. Hard to beat that for me, that's for sure. This would have been the front, the outward facing part of it, I would guess. I think it would have gone like this. Maybe like this. Now, as far as age, it's hard to say. I want to say it's from the same time period as those coins, late 1700s, but I don't think it is. Upon first glance, I don't see anything that says sterling or 925 or anything designating that it's silver. But it is without a doubt made out of silver. It's an incredible piece of craftsmanship. Maybe one of the coolest things I have found in a long time, given that it's a guitar. Of course, as a guitarist, I would say that, right? Absolutely incredible. Incredible. What is this? A what? I do. Come on, did you just find that just now? Well, I found a piece of old power line. Boring. But you were pulling up a chain and found a clay pipe stem or clay bowl.
Oh.
No way!
Something else. It's like the farmer decided to sit on that stump and smoke his pipe while he, I mean, who knows? Look at that pipe and chain.
Awesome.
It really is.
I've never found a whole one. I'll typically find the little pieces. They say that they would smoke it and then the end would get like gummed up or something and they would just break a piece off and then it would be shorter.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, look how narrow the stem is too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super small hole.
I've only found 1 or 2 bowls, but it's still like black in there.
Yeah. Somebody was smoking that, dude.
Awesome find. You man, you're on a roll eyeballing stuff today.
Yeah.
Throw at base of, throw at base of flames. Was it on like an early like fire extinguisher?
Yeah, maybe.
Because they had those like bottles of definitely like toxic chemicals that you just like
smash something with it.
You would just like throw the bottle and it would break.
Yeah.
Well, given what we know about the history of the building and some of the things that we have found so far, I'm in 1780s mode. Whenever I get a target, I'm thinking it's going to be something from that time period. But Rebekah has found a bit of a little dump over here, an old dump, finding fragments of pottery. She found that clay pipe, and she just got a badge, which is from the 1920s, but it is so cool. So it says, for fire, sure stop, throw at base of flames. And I knew I had heard of something like this before, so I looked it up on my phone, and sure enough, this is like, for lack of a better word, a grenade, a glass bottle full of some fire suppressant that you would throw at a fire. The glass would break and whatever that chemical was would put out the fire. It even says on here that if you aren't home and it gets hot enough, it'll put the fire out all on its own. Incredible. Rebekah also mentioned that there are still some in the house, although the liquid inside is not red like the ones we saw photos of, but it's instead clear. There it is.
Yeah, so that tag.
We got one in the kitchen. Oh, they're all over.
Probably would have attached somewhere like at this part right here.
Right. 1920s fire suppressant grenade. Incredible. Yeah, it would have been attached with wire right around the glass. Can't say I've ever found one of those before. At least walk in that direction. After I dig this up. 82. You know what that is?
A piece of a harmonica?
It is.
I've learned something from your videos.
I think it's the whole thing too.
Oh, really?
Yep, there's some more of it. Yep.
What? How many reeds or whatever are there in it?
2.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Oh man, no, this is a quadruple. Well, we were just kind of walking through here on our way to a different place, and this is the yard we spent all day in the first trip here. We immediately start getting targets that we missed last time. And I got a beautiful target. It was very deep, and it ended up being what initially I thought was just a normal harmonica. 2 reed plates, generally stacked on top of each other, will give you notes when you breathe out, and they'll give you notes when you breathe in. This one, though, is clearly different. There are 4 reeds attached to one instrument. I have to assume you blow in one side and you'll have one scale, you turn it around and you blow in that side and you'll have a different scale. We were discussing the possibility this might be a chromatic harmonica, allowing you to play all of the notes of a piano, for example, but I believe those typically have levers and switches, which this does not have. So I think it's just 2 diatonic scales, And it does have a plate here with brand information on it. Louis, I'm not going to pronounce it correctly, Meisei, M-E-I-S-E-I. And there's some text down here that says made in Germany. And given the things that we have found here in the past, a silver guitar brooch, an actual piece of a guitar, and now this monstrosity of a harmonica, it's clear the folks living here over 100 years ago were musical people. Incredible. Never seen anything like that before. Although I will say, I think I have found 4 reed plates, harmonica reed plates, in one spot before, and I was like, oh, 2 harmonicas. Never even considered it would be one giant instrument, blowing in one side, blowing the other. Do you think 2 people could play it at the same time?
Very intimately.
Yeah, that's right. So cool. Well, it is getting quite warm in the direct sun, so we decided to jump the creek into some of their wooded property because right behind me there's a very peculiar square depression in the ground, which we think might be an old reservoir. From when, we're not so sure, but there is stuff on top of the ground everywhere. Old engines, car parts, barrels. It looks like it was used as a dump. Maybe 100 years ago, probably a bit less than that. But we're gonna give it a try, see if we can find anything here to end out the day and cool off a little bit. Beautiful target, 87. What do we got here? I think that's a pendant of some kind. Rebekah! Yeah? I got something cool. So when I first found this, I thought maybe there was a chance it was going to be a dog tag, like the animal tag, like a tax. But I don't think it is. It is very, very light. It seems like it's made out of aluminum. It appears to be in the shape of a heart. So right down here we can see sweet something, be my salvation. And then on this side there's some more text. And I have found maybe half a dozen aluminum pendants like that in the past. They're typically what we would call miraculous metal. Miraculous metals oftentimes have a date on them. This one though doesn't seem to have a date. I'm not sure if it's particularly a miraculous metal or if it's just a charm, part of a rosary. Right next to the what we're assuming was a reservoir of some kind. Perfectly square, not too deep. It's not a home or a barn or anything. It's full of water. Interesting place to lose it. A great find. Pretty loud, 73. What's that? Lunch boom.
Could it be Zoom?
Lunch zoom? Neither makes sense. Well, I just found a thing. It seems like the theme of the day is finding things that I just have no idea what they are. I can read the text on it, but it still doesn't make any sense. It looks like it says lunch boom. Smith McKay. Good for 3 in trade. Okay, so this is a token. It's another token.
Okay.
Room. It's lunch room.
Lunch room.
Makes way more sense than lunch boom. So this is a token, so it's good for 3 probably cents at the Smith McKay lunchroom, which could very well be a very obscure small business in the area. It seems like in the forest here where we're at, we're finding things from the 1920s to 1940s, so I have to assume it's from then. I have never found a token this shape before. I know square ones exist. Never seen one like this. It looks like it came out of one of those machines that flattens your penny at like amusement parks. That's what I thought it was at first. Smith McKay lunchroom. Awesome. nothing better than finding something that relates to not only the people that lived here, but the surrounding area, the businesses. So cool. All right, folks, well, it is the end of the day, calling it here, and what an amazing day it was. You know, just being in this small area down from the front door of this old house, we found so many awesome pieces from the 1700s, 1800s, and even some from the 1900s. And then we went across the creek and found even more cool stuff in a completely separate site, which maybe we'll have to return to someday soon. I had an absolute blast. Huge thanks once again to Rebekah for the invitation. Everything that we both found today out, let's take a look at it all. All right, look at this crazy pile of treasures. Some of these I can't even believe. In the way back, we have the Sure Stop fire suppressing glass grenade badge. We have our giant quadruple reed plate, probably a double harmonica. We have Rebekah's clay pipe bowl, a toe tap. This was a mystery. Didn't really ever get down to the bottom of what that is. 3 buttons. 2 of them are big coat buttons, probably from the 1700s. This one might be a little bit later. And then in the center, 5 items, which I am just so excited about. We have a religious medallion of some kind. I'm not sure if it's a miraculous medal or not. I don't think it is. We have the token, good for 3 or 5 cents at a lunchroom. I believe it is a fairly local establishment. We have a solid silver guitar pin or brooch. Unfortunately, I was not able to find the headstock. I believe that the sharp pin was affixed to the headstock. It was likely still on the shirt of the wearer when the rest of it was lost. And then 2 large copper coins right outside the front door of this wonderful old house. Such an amazing, amazing day. All right, folks, well, hey, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully I will see you right back here next Friday for another one. Thanks again.